Hello and welcome. Welcome to today's Bold Trail Academy. Steve, how are you today?
I think I'm good. How are
Steve,
you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
And our subject today is hygiene. It's hygiene, but not the hygiene you guys are probably all thinking of. It is your database hygiene. And the reason we're talking about this is because we're within the Bold Trail Mastery series. And within the mastery, what we're talking about is how to convert your leads. How do you convert your leads? And so within that space, um, I've had several conversations just in the last week with agents looking at their database and realizing that they have their database in there, but it really isn't sorted in an operable way. So that when they sit down and they look at it and say, okay, which of my contacts need attention? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So let me start my screen share. And before we jump in, I think it's always good to go back and look at where we came from. And so within the Bold Trail Academy, I have my classrooms, and we're in this mastery series right here. And so we started off with nurturing leads, daily database power ups, how to use landing pages and squeeze pages to convert. Last week, we were looking at the statuses and how to move the statuses forward as we're nurturing those leads and moving towards closing, and what exactly that means in context of the automations within the platform. So we got kind of granular there, but um, I think it was a good session. I had a lot of good feedback from that.
And everybody, we'll put in the chat a link for you guys to be a member of the school platform. So please take that opportunity to register. And it's a private group, but we will put the link here shortly, right now, in fact.
There we go. We're going to copy that and
We'll
we're going
put
to
that right
throw
there in
it
the chat for all
in
you
the
guys.
chat. And yeah, the more people I've signed up, the more motivated I get to post more content in there, which I've been more consistent with. Um, the as we go through talking about hygiene for SAC MetroList users, I'm going to talk about the updates. There's AI updates that MetroList has made. You can now search MetroList with a photo. So if there's a specific feature, like maybe there's a specific type of barn you're looking for, maybe it's a view. I'm going to show you how to do that, but we're going to wait until after we get done with the content because a lot of people are not here SAC MetroList users. So I want to respect their time. Going back to the classroom, I have throughout the year, Steve and I have been diligent about focusing our content on different categories, different classrooms, if you will. Bold Trail Open House. I've had a lot of discussions about Bold Trail Open House just this week, and people are still going in. I think one of my videos on that is up to 400 views, which one of my best performing videos. And guys, I look at this matrix because it helps me understand what agents are really looking for. So Bull Trail Open House, it was a cool series that we did, and I really feel that the agents that are embracing that are really getting more activity into their Bull Trail platform. And so what I'm referencing with that is this activity right here. This is my Bold Trail and activity that's going on. And this is what you guys should all be looking for, is to get so much activity going on that when you sit down every morning and you look at your Bold Trail, you say, hey, I got to follow up with Donna. Donna just looked at a house in Newcastle.
And got a new lead there 14 hours ago.
I got a new lead, communicated with this lead. They didn't give me a name. So there's the phone number. Hopefully no one
That's
calls
fine.
them. But yeah, this is it's one of the challenges I have in sharing my Bold Trail. Sometimes that data is out there. So be respectful of that. So let's jump in and talk about what we're focusing on today. And that is the hygiene of your database. And so within this space, I'm working with a new Bold Trail agent right now. This agent has closed hundreds of deals, hundreds of transactions, but never maintained a database. And this is common, you guys. If you guys are looking at or understanding what I'm saying right now and going, yeah, that's me, hundreds of closings, but never maintained a database. What I'm doing with that agent is I'm going into the local MLS, I'm researching their past sales, I'm downloading all of those past sales related to their agent ID. Then I'm uploading it into a title company site where I'm matching up the property address with the current owner. And then we're going in and doing some searching to understand if that person is still living there.
Good.
So now you're getting a database together that you can go out and use my past database smart campaign to go and re-engage with them.
So wait, hold the phone.
Yeah.
So for something very economically, someone could contact you and you could help anyone that's looking to learn Bold Trail to get those kind of contacts from past sales. You could help them organize that.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a free thing you do, but
No, it's
you certainly will help
it's
anyone.
not free.
Right.
But when you go through this process, agents who don't have their database together, or even agents who have contacts in their phone that they haven't completed. I was with an agent last week, 890 contacts. I think 63 of them were complete. Complete being first, last name, email address, phone number, and property address. Complete contacts. This is the hygiene that I'm talking about. I'm using this example of going in and generating this because this is something we can all do. We can go, if we don't have our database together, we can go in and we can make that happen. Rich?
The other thing that's really good about it is if you were using your database a lot, people are still moving. There are a lot of times I'll get feedback and say, I no longer own that property, I no longer live there.
Yes.
So going what you're talking about, cleaning that up, it really saves a lot of time and effort, but it also puts you in a good spot with the current owner.
Yeah, and really what I have found with this, and I've worked with probably 24 agents at this point who have gone through this exercise with me. What I'm finding is that those people, they really knew you, liked you, and trusted you to the point where they did a transaction with you, and you're the one that dropped the ball and didn't keep in contact with them. It's not that they didn't know, like, and trust you. You had gone through that process of building that relationship. I feel that we just didn't have the tools that we have today to be able to maintain that relationship. And so I'm going through, I'm matching up the email addresses and phone numbers. We're going in and understanding if the people still live there. And then we're uploading those databases into your KV core. Okay, so let's jump in and I want to take a look. This is my database here. And I have a crazy amount. Uh-oh, I just got logged out. Bear with me here a second. We are live. So I think I have over 3,500 contacts in my KV core. Are all the contacts complete? What are all those contacts? I can't possibly have 3,500 people that I'm keeping in contact with. That's just crazy. But a lot of what I'm doing is I'm doing a lot of lead follow-up, a lot of farming, and I put it into my database. And so I'm at 3,636 contacts. I'm going to go through and we're going to talk about hygiene. So the hygiene of your database is, let's look at the contact details. How many of these are complete contacts? Let's define what a complete contact is. Has a phone number, has an email address, and has a primary address.
You obviously have their name, first and last.
Yes, we could get into that first and last. But this is what I consider a complete contact, because
Okay.
if you have their phone number, you can call them and text them.
Yep.
If you have an email address, obviously you can email them. If you have a property address, you can turn on those automations, being the market reports and the listing valuations, so that you can communicate something of value to them being a market update.
And people go back to the school and they can listen to the cotton play, which is what you just described.
That's right, the cotton play. Ebe Cotton back in, where is Ebe?
Indiana.
He's back in Indiana, and Pitt Miller with Success Lending brought Ebe on. And he really defined what that play meant. All right, so here we are, we just ran that search. And of my 3,600 contacts, I have 803 that are complete.
Okay. Now,
803. Go ahead.
I'm just questioning how you further hashtag those 803 into categories. Is that a hygiene discussion we could have?
It is.
Okay.
And I'm glad you asked that question. But right here in the context of this search, now that I've made this search, this is what I call the high value targets of my database, right? So within this context, I look at this and say, okay, these are the ones that I can turn on those automations and really focus on. And so you want to go over here and you want to save the filter. I save these filters. That way I don't have to go do it each time. Now, the cool thing about these save filters, Steve, is that they're evergreen.
Oh, good. Okay. I love evergreen.
So what does that mean? As you add contacts into your database that are complete, they'll be in that filter.
Okay, good. So if I put in 5 more contacts, I would have 808. Correct?
That's right.
Okay. I
Even
understand
better
that.
than that, if you go in and complete an existing contact in your database,
It adds to that.
it adds to that.
So agents can set physical weekly goals on making that number bigger. Now, what do you think is the right number an agent should strive for to have a healthy database? Is it 200, 300, 400,
Um,
800?
I guess that is the $1 million question.
I think so.
It really is. I
What
don't.
would we suggest they should aspire to?
I think if you have 300 to 400, you could effectively have 300 to 400 in your database that you could nurture and have a reliable source of business. I'm not here to brag about my 803. I want you guys to understand that what I'm doing is I'm going in and uploading farms that I'm doing. So I have notice of default that I've gone to title companies. I've gotten the NODs where I have the name, property address, and then I've appended them with email and phone number. I've ran it through the EXP do not call list.
Okay.
That way I'm in compliance. And then I put them in my database. And I hashtag them, and everyone's hashtag, so I know exactly where that lead came from, so that when I'm going in and doing my marketing, I'm in compliance.
Okay.
I don't want to blast email anybody that I don't have permission. Again, it goes back to permission marketing, and this is where we started the year off, was talking about permission marketing. It's a great book. And
Seth Godin.
that's right, Seth, my buddy Seth. But permission marketing really explains how Amazon grew into the biggest retailer in the world. They started out selling books, losing money, but Bezos sat back and said, I don't really care that we're losing money selling books. What I am doing is collecting data. And then he started selling more books, and then he started selling other products. Now, I mean, look at Amazon. It's a fabric of our society, bigger than Walmart. And so at the end of the day, we are permission marketers, and we always need to respect that permission. And so the databases that I'm uploading, part of this over 800, if I don't have permission to market to them, I have the right hashtags in the system so that I make sure that I'm not violating the rules out there. So it's very important. But anyway, if you're interested in taking your database to that level, please contact me. I can show you exactly how to do it. It's very effective. Now let's look at, I'm going to clear this filter out. And now this is where we look at my incomplete. So just so we're clear, I want to go back to my dashboard so that everyone understands where I'm coming from. I'm going to my contacts. And you can see I don't have any filters on this. So I'm going to go down here to contact details. And then down here, I want to say has a phone and has an email. Okay, but I don't have a property address. So these are my incomplete contacts. Now, in your incomplete contacts, you can have buyer and seller, and all of you can go granular in that sense and to have more detail. But if I am looking at my incomplete contacts, I have 2,045. That's insane.
I think you need to get working on that.
I don't have time to do this.
Definition.
In fact, Alex, if you'll show up at the 10 a.m. class, we'll teach you how to do that.
I appreciate that. So the definition of the incomplete contact in this context right now is that I have a name, I have a phone number, and I have an email address, but I don't have a property address. Okay, so
That's still a pretty good contact. You can still reach out to them.
you can still reach out to them, and depending on where that lead came from, again, hashtags are everything. You go in and you reach out to them and say, hey, Alex here, you're in my database. I met you at open house, whatever. You have that conversation and see if they're truly interested in real estate. Steve, how many calls should you make a day when you sit down and do your call session? How many people do you want to talk to a day when you do your call
That's
session?
actually the real question. And it'd be 10. So you would need to make 20 to 40 calls a day. And the ideal scenario is that you physically can speak to 5 to 10 people a day about just discussing real estate. That'll get you humming.
And so if you can certainly do cold calls from whatever list you want to generate from title companies, but if you have a list of people that are already in your database that you met at an open house, that you generated through a property boost, maybe you're doing landing pages, all sorts of ways that you can generate those leads. And if you're in your database and you're looking at those that are incomplete, those are the calls you want to make.
Yeah, you can make a fruitful call. One, discuss real estate, reestablish the relationship, and then ask, hey, by the way, what's your home address?
Yeah.
I'd love to actually stay in touch with you if you would like and provide you maybe every 30 days, just a link you can look at what the value of your house is. Is that something that would be valuable? And most people will feel that be valuable.
Yeah. And so going back to the hygiene of your database. So we have complete contacts that you have automations turned on for because you have email address, phone number, and property address. We can turn those on. You can turn them on in bulk. If I wanted to go into all 800 that I had, I could turn on those notifications all at one time in mass.
For the sake of an example, would you take us back to the homepage and then navigate to the list and then just go through that filtering process?
Yeah, so I'm back at my homepage, dashboard, call it. I'm in my contacts. Because I've saved my complete database, I go to complete and it sees these are the filters that pop up. And we can check them all. And then we can go to more actions. We can change our statuses. I can transfer them all to you, Steve, if I wanted to.
That'd be a good idea.
I can add a campaign. And you can do all of these different, I could add search alerts. I could add a lender. So if my lender wanted to start making calls on him, Pitt Miller's in the room, we could go ahead and do that. If we wanted to print mailing addresses, you could do that as well. So all these things you can do in the mass actions within the platform to turn on those automations.
This is where people set their filters when they want to find out who they really have full contacts and who they
Yes.
really don't. So where you would be concentrating making your calls are the ones that are incomplete.
So as much as I love to point out all the automations and the way that you could do these things, I want to encourage everybody not to hide behind their computer screen in the automations.
Yeah.
Where you get serious traction in this business is when you time block 3 to 5 days a week and you pick up the phone and you make the calls. You make the calls to your past database. Like I said, I'm working with an agent right now. I think at the end of the conversation, I'm going to have 650 past sales I'm going to append them with email addresses and phone numbers. And the real magic isn't going to be uploading them to the database. It's time blocking to where that person, that agent, picks up the phone and calls them. And then because they're in the database, they're able to make notes on it. So what do I mean by that? We'll go to my demo. So this is my demo database. And we'll go to John Bon Jovi. Now, this is not the real John Bon Jovi, but that's right. That's right. Thanks. Tom is singing his best Bon Jovi right now. But within this, I want to point out the hashtags. So within the hashtags, if this was a closed sale, I would have that hashtag in here. If I wanted to add a hashtag of maybe it came from Craigslist. So I have Craigslist in here. It searches for it. And now I've just added the Craigslist hashtag to this, indicating that the lead came from Craigslist. But whatever hashtag you want to use to sort your database, you just have to know that you could add that in there. It's whatever you want to do. But going back to the point at hand, the hygiene of your database, when you're going in and making these calls, funny thing about John Bon Jovi is I send out a weekly email. This is a good story. Weekly email I send out through my GoDaddy email marketing.
Okay.
I find it more effective than using Bold Trail marketing. I'm going to do a whole class on it, Tom. Don't worry. But I sent out the Equity Protect. We had Equity Protect come in, and so I sent out Equity Protect, and I made a landing page for Equity Protect, and this email address was in there, and they registered.
So John Bon Jovi
I don't
registered for your.
I'm not sure. I'm not
Your
sure if they
Equity
registered or
Protect.
not. But it was a real hit, and so they registered.
hysterical.
Yeah, New Jersey address, kind of funny. But going back to the hygiene, because I'm going in here and this is my demo database, but when I make that call, I can come in here and I can make that call, and then I can record the outcome of it. So when you're going in and making your calls on these different statuses, on these different filters, you go in here and I could say, call attempt, no message. I could make my notes in here, and then I could save that call outcome. And now here it is. It shows up in my activity feed. And so this is what you guys want to do once you get into these different statuses and understand how you can use these filters to focus on those leads that need your attention, so that you can take these contacts and move them along the status. So if I wanted to take John Bon Jovi and move him into a client status, because he signed up for Equity Protect, maybe he is going to be a client. Whatever the case may be, if you have a buyer that went from a cold lead to somebody now that is searching for property, you move them to that client status. And now you have another filter in there where you can go in daily and say, okay, these are my active clients in my client status. Let's make sure that we're giving them the love that they need. So now John Bon Jovi, I just moved into my client status. So that's what we're talking about with agent hygiene.
I like it.
Or I should say database hygiene, micro filtering your contacts so that you can look at the operable data and really pay attention to those contacts that need the attention or haven't had the attention.
I have an off question just on your menu bar. It says you have 52 contacts not on a campaign. So does that mean the other 750 are on a campaign?
So when we go in and view this, keep in mind, this is for the Living in Placer County team site.
Okay.
And so it is identifying, I know I have much more than 51 that are not currently on a campaign. So these are dealing with the statuses that aren't on campaigns.
Got it.
So I'd have to really look at what those filters are. But this may surprise some of you, but I don't really use a lot of smart campaigns at this point within my database.
Okay.
Why am I not using them? They're so great, right? Well, here's the thing. For the complete contacts, I have market reports and I have listing valuations. That is 2 contacts going out every month, depending on what my frequency is. If it's someone getting ready to list, I may have the market report and listing evaluations going out twice a month. And then every Friday at 4:30, I send my weekly email out.
So that'd be really 2 monthly and 4. So you're talking 4 or 5. You're touching them 5 to 7 times.
I am.
So that's pretty frequent, and those are real appropriate touches.
Yeah, and where again,
Top of mind.
I've committed to doing this weekly email with a video. So every Friday at 4:30, I put a market update video out there, and I use Zoom clips to do my video. If you've been to my channel and seen my videos, I have the little ball that I'm speaking in, and then I have my content that I'm presenting. And I take that video, I put it on YouTube, I put it on Facebook, I put it on Reddit. The reason why we do this is because now we have AI search. So the AI search is is finding agents who are active in all of these different platforms. So I make the effort to go through and do that. And then I take all of that, put it into my newsletter going through GoDaddy. And Tom, I'll do a special session on that as to why I'm doing that. But then I send that out. And so going back to using smart campaigns, the new leads that come in, like this weekend, I'm going to be using the Assume List landing page that I built to do Facebook ads. So that's happening this weekend. I have the whole thing set up. I'm going to spend $20 a day, and I think I have it running for 10 days. And so those will come in. I made an Assume List smart campaign that's going to trigger when the lead comes in. So that campaign is going to run, I think, for 15 days. And it's going to be a mixture of text, email, and phone calls. After 15 days, if they haven't responded back, if I haven't made a connection with them, then I'm going to have to make a decision as to what to do with that lead.
Got it.
But I won't be putting them on my automations. The automations won't start until I turn those on because I don't want to over communicate with them. So again, there's a lot that you could do with this platform. Really what it boils down to is how do you want to effectively communicate that message out? So that's what I have for you guys today about hygiene. I know it's a lot. You'll find this video on YouTube. Go back and watch it, because if you're sitting on a database of a couple hundred contacts, 1,000 contacts, whatever it is, your goal is to get them all as complete as you can.
Yeah.
So that you have operable data that you can effectively build the know, like, and trust with. And that's what you can do with this platform. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with that. Again, if you need help doing this, if you need an initial evaluation, 15 minutes of me looking at your platform to understand where you are with it, or if you need me to go in and regenerate your past client list and get those contacts in, I do that. I do that on a weekly basis now. And the agents that go through that process, they look at it, and the crazy thing, Steve, is I haven't had a single agent yet that hasn't found at least 1 or 2 transactions that are sitting in their past production. They're just waiting to hear from you.
Love it.
So let me close this out, and then I'll take some questions, and then we will talk about the Metro List updates.
Yeah, you guys can take yourself off mute, or you can type